Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation today with Erica and Sarah. Now, when you think of all of your years of experience with Serve, is there a story or an experience that sort of stands out?
I think the biggest thing that stands out to me during Serve is just the power of God that you see during that week. That I never really experienced anywhere else. Like, you go on these mission trips and you have these highs and these lows, but with Serve, it's just different because you're with a good group of adult leaders too, who are very deep in their faith. They're very spiritual leaders in a way. And for me as a student, seeing that always really struck out to me, seeing the way that they count on God, the way they pray to Him, the way they ask Him for these things to happen during the week, and they just truly, like, in their heart believe that it's powerful and going to happen and going to work. And then, like, they prayed one day for it to not rain, and then they watched the clouds part in front of them. And it's stories like that that I don't experience in my own life, but when I'm around these spiritual leaders, in a sense, I see that, and that was just something that Serve really showed to me, and I never really saw anywhere else. So that was just a huge thing that really stuck out to me.
So you're saying for your own faith formation, just as a young woman, being around faithful adults has been a really positive. Do you still have that outside of Serve? I'm wondering, outside of Serve,
yeah, I don't
do you have that?
truly have that outside of Serve.
All right.
Yeah, and it was people like, I mean, hearing Bob talk about things, or hearing Jolene tell her stories, and just kind of hearing, like, you see them up on stage, but to just kind of talk with them behind, and like Scott Elbers is another one, and Adam Sternberg, he's our like music leader. Hearing their life stories and how they've been faithful throughout, and hearing just the way they talk about God is just something that I don't see in my peers. So it was a really cool experience to see that with them.
Okay, I hadn't thought about the impact of being around those adults all that time, so I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, and something kind of to add on to that, Sarah and I are both on the host team now, and so we meet throughout the year, starting in January every month, as a host team, just to plan. There's like so many details to take care of and new ideas, and so when you do serve a few years in a row with some of these other adults on the host team, you really become, it's more than just a week of the year. You know, we see each other's lives, we see things that are happening, we share highs and lows, we pray together. So, you know, like Adam's a principal at a school he started, and a bunch of us went to a fundraiser for his school this year, and we've kind of become intertwined in each other's lives outside of Serve. So that's been really cool to see and experience as well.
How about any other highlights, Eric? Highlights.
That's a hard question. I've done Serve 9 times.
9 times.
So there's a lot of moments, but similar to Sarah, I would say just the power of prayer and experiencing a certain style of prayer, I guess, with like group popcorn prayer that's very passionate and emotional. That's something. I have a lot of moments that I remember, prayer moments. But also the worship sessions. I just love the worship at night. It's, you know, it's a more contemporary style, which typically happens during these types of mission trips. But it's just awesome, and it's awesome to see how the worship style of the kids changes throughout the week. Like, usually the first couple nights kind of quiet, and people are like, oh, another song. And I was the same way when I was in high school, and I actually remember one of my high school experiences, I was kind of in the back standing by Bob during the worship session, and I was kind of having a hard week. I think he knew there was something bothering me. And I'm a little more like conservative with expressing my faith, you know, so I'm not really one to raise my hands or be super expressive. And I was kind of tearing up during a song, and he raised up my hand for me during the song and was like, well, we're going to do this together. And I really felt God's presence in that moment. So that's one specific moment from a worship session that has always stuck with me. Like, I felt like God's presence was there in that room with us. But it's so hard to pick just one or a few. Yeah.
The worship sessions is true. I remember like thinking throughout the year and like talking with friends who've done Barnabas and been to Serve, and they're like, I just want to come to the worship sessions of Serve. Like, I'm so excited for Serve worship.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something there. And then every time Jolene comes up to speak afterwards, she always mentions like, we brought the Spirit of God here today, and like this worship brought God's Spirit in here, and that is really evident in the worship sessions.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but they're definitely different.
So I see now, my impression would have been that it was meaningful, particularly for those students who are participating all day, but you're also saying even in and of itself, people from the outside also appreciate that worship.
Yeah,
So that's
especially
really
with
great.
the host team, you know,
Yeah.
the people change throughout the years, but everybody always trickles back at one
Yeah.
point or another.
Okay.
Even past Barnabas team students as well. So it's fun to kind of build
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
community that just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and they have that a lot too with the sessions at night. Like this year I noticed a lot. There was a bunch of like alumni who came back to just
Okay.
be there during
Yeah.
the worship sessions. One of the youth group leaders from Allendale who led groups at LaGrave Serve a couple of years
Okay.
came back and was there. Some old host team came back and just came in and joined the sessions.
really cool.
Yeah, it's like a big community there that
Yeah.
everyone can just come back and they all feel welcome there.
As we're sitting here talking, I'm thinking of Paul. He writes to Timothy, and Timothy is sort of mentored by Paul, and Paul encourages Timothy to mentor those under him or younger than him.
Right.
And you're right in that position now. Serve, you talked about how you looked up to and how those adults mentored you, and now you're in that position where you still have those mentors, but those students are looking to you.
Yeah. It's very interesting for me because I'm in charge of the Barnabas team,
Yeah.
which is something I did all 4 years of high school. So it feels kind of weird that I'm in this position now a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know where the time went, but yeah, it's really amazing. And I think that's part of what keeps me coming back as an adult. You know, we all are busy. It's kind of hard to just pause your life for a week and sleep in the church basement, you know?
Yeah.
But just knowing that you're creating this experience myself for some of our kids at LaGrave, but also the 115 people who have traveled here, you know, hopefully they'll take something out of the week, whether it's just one moment or they love the entire week and it changes their life, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to help like make that happen for other people.
Yeah, one thing I really like, it's cool to watch, for me, the Barnabas team, and watch them experience Serve and
Yeah.
know kind of what they're going through, because they're experiencing it the way I experienced it, and having
Yeah.
them like love it the way I did, and just
Yes.
really soak up the week and see it through their eyes again, because I kind of know how they're feeling. But I'm like past it, so I know, like.
So it's not the same every year for you. It's new
Right,
and it's
it's
fresh. 'Cause
new
there's
and
new
fresh,
people
and like
new
watching these
experiences.
students
Yeah.
come into Serve for the first year, the second year, their third year, and seeing them just kind of love it the way that I did is really cool.